I said leave meeting. It gave me got it on leave
Ah,
meeting.
I know, right? It's so weird every time you do this. Zoom. But I like the way how Zoom is now. It's kind of like very different. It's like Zoom Workplace and no longer Zoom.
Ooh. I actually haven't even signed in. It's been a minute since I,
Dude,
yeah.
it's been like, I think a few months for me too, but it's nice to know that Zoom is no longer Zoom, it's Zoom Workplace. Ah,
Yeah.
but that is what it is. It's
That's them
another
wanting
pod.
everyone to come back.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna let you do your intro. Okay.
Nah! But I kind of
That's
like
it.
things to be a little random, a little all over the place. And Sri Lanka, Chase D, because Chase is back chasing after something so cool, man. He's actually not chasing, sorry, scratch that. He's doing
How?
stuff, but it's
How,
so
bro?
cool,
You said
man.
like chasing something.
No, but I love the fact that you're taking up and doing something absolutely cool, which we're gonna dive into. But firstly, how you been, man? It's been like a really long time. The last time I spoke to you, man, that was like a while ago, and you were a
It
streamer.
is. Yeah, I still do a little bit of it, but not that much. Like I think if you take like streaming, like back then, with the onset of COVID and then afterwards with like the lockdowns like opening up, it kind of like even like your audience as well eventually just kind of like moved out because life happens. You got to go back to work.
Mm.
Work from home was done. So so little by little, even like your viewership wasn't really doing that well. And I was doing it on Facebook gaming, and Facebook gaming was no help to even partnered streamers.
Oh
But that's like
wow.
a whole story in itself. Yeah, man, because there's like quite a few partner streamers that I was talking to, and they were just like, hey, you know what? We're not getting any support. It's only like the top 0.1% which gets any sort of help.
Oh wow,
So
that's
so
wild.
even they gave up. It was good while it lasted. There were friendships which were made. There was communities that, still exist. They still talk to one another. I still am in touch with quite a few of them too. So I wouldn't say that it was ever a waste of time. It was what was needed at that time.
Yeah.
And you never know because streaming will diversify, and who knows, maybe I might get back into it in a different way eventually.
You know it. And I absolutely love what you're doing now, which is like events. But what I love most is that you are focusing on this completely different demographic that should have been taken advantage of like a while ago, which is like the Tamil music demographic or the Tamil speaking demographic. Because for the longest time, there wasn't a lot of entertainment for them. It was just like, oh, Indian artists, they just used to come down
Yeah.
and things like that. And then once in a while, I think the Tamil rock band they play. And then recently, I think early this year, they had like a bunch of different DJs who played Tamil music, but that was it. And nothing more
Yeah.
came out. So you diving into this, dude, why though?
Funny thing, I was actually introduced to this by my partner. So she was like, "Hey, you know what? You want to come for this?" And I did a few of them, and something I really liked was the overall energy. And it wasn't like a very big place. It's a place that we all like go to, like places like Republic is where these events used to happen, and it was just fun to just kind of just like experience that. And I think me getting into it is, to be honest, there were others who have been doing these events, and me getting into it is kind of just like, um at the end of the day, it is providing artists more opportunities to have these events, because as event organizers, anyone and everyone can only do so much,
Mm.
because more often than not, these tend to be like the side hustle. So what we're really doing is kind of bringing more opportunities for artists for them to be performing and to kind of like bring that Tamil community closer together. And also at the same time, what we're looking at with the Ignisara is to also introduce this to brands as well, to get supporters, not just like one-time supporters, but like
Mm.
long-term supporters. And that's what we're trying to like cultivate right now.
It's called Ignisara.
Yes.
It sounds like such an exotic word.
So it actually means fire energy. So
Oh.
but the actual term is Agnisara. It's a yoga term. It was just a lot of research and just trying to like find it. The name, I wanted the name itself to stand on its own. I didn't want it to have the word events in it. I didn't want it to have entertainment in it. Um, it just needed to stand on its own. And that's where Ignisara came about. So it was a bit of wordplay with the Agni, changed it to like Ignite, Igni, Sara.
Very cool, man. So tell us about this first event that you're doing. I think it's on Saturday, right?
Yes, 28th of this month. So it's called Deepadika, and it itself also revolves around fire. So it's just like ignite the fire, so to speak. And we are featuring a one band and two DJs. So we have the band being Ilenila Isukulu, along with DJ Sash and DJ Losh. So this is a three-person lineup, and we're pretty excited for it. It's taking place at Hangla in One Golf Bay, so that's on level 6. And right now we have early bird tickets out. So we're pretty excited for the event itself.
And so there's going to be a lot of originals and lots of South Indian music. What's the vibe going to be like?
So it's very interesting. So especially when we like talk to the band as well, more often than not, what you do see is a lot of people would like to enjoy more of the South Indian music. A lot of what you hear in movies, a few independent artists. Original wise, we're at the moment for this, we're not really pushing original music. Um, it's very interesting, especially if I was to just say like, especially when I used to like DJ, something which I really found interesting is when you want to introduce something new, you kind of have to kind of like slide it in
Yeah.
without people knowing. So I think we're just trying to like cultivate the audience for that, so that then the band or even like the DJs themselves, when they are releasing their originals, little by little, they'll be able to do that. However, we have themed this from the 90s to 2000s music is what we're looking at. So we're going to
Ooh.
have like a musical journey. And something else is Deepadika in itself. We are looking at the four elements. So that is earth, wind, water, fire. And each of them are going to be representing those elements. Overall, what's interesting is in the music itself, there are songs which actually represent these elements, like
Mm.
earth, then there's fire, wind, and water. So we have Inik, who will be representing two of those elements. I don't want to give away who they what they are, what's assigned to who, and one for each of the DJs. So what we're trying to do with that is kind of give it a more experiential thing where we're
Mm.
having openers, and there's like a fair bit of production work which is also happening behind the scenes to kind of like bring it together. So it's not just a straightforward concert or event, so to speak. We want to kind of immerse the audience in the concept. So this would be the launch of Ignisar itself, the launch of that concept, and then take it forward. And this is something which you see, especially with like events overseas, is where you're able to kind of create a story in
Yeah.
the performance. So that's what we want to do. And I'm sure you would have seen it, like, the things like Sensation, Climax by Q Dance. These are certain concerts which actually work on a theme. And it changes from each season, so to speak. So that's kind of like what we are looking at. So this is the start, and then see how we can develop it further as it goes on.
Mm. No, fair enough. And man, it sounds like you're bringing in a lot of that radio production work.
That's the thing, right? Like, I think one thing which I'm always, whatever that has happened in my career, I've always been able to learn. And starting from my onset at working at Young Asia Television, from working behind the camera to understanding how editing and all of that happens, to getting onto radio. That's also where I started my social media and my marketing side as well, video editing and all of that. So from there to today, with I'm still working full time as well. All of that has allowed me to, at this juncture, use that knowledge
Mm.
into whatever the next project that I'm into. So that's the same thing which happened also with the streaming. It was everything which I learned at that time. I'm using it now. Now it's
Mm.
all of that plus the last 2, 3 years, well, I guess the last 4 years, so to speak, bringing all of that plus my previous experience and kind of like, going to this. It's been a while, I've been out of the overall entertainment scene for a
I
extremely long time.
know. Very, very, very long time. I wish I had like picture of you before you left entertainment. Well, now of course I could just like take a screen capture, but
It's not that difficult. You'll be able to find it on my streaming profile channel rather. It's
oh
there. All you
man.
gotta do is just go through the profile pictures. Funnily, I was actually going through them yesterday. So yeah, yeah, you'll see me in my early 20s.
Hey. So as someone who's just starting out in events, Machan, is it easy or is it like mad difficult?
It's a lot of work. It is honestly a lot of work. You're seeing just me here, but there's so many other people who are involved.
Hmm.
So behind the scenes, and they've all been able to help and pitch in certain parts of it, because for like ticket handling, we have someone who's looking into that, then kind of just like looking at sponsorships as well.
Hmm.
There's someone else looking into it, a few there, and then just like the overall theme and things like that. It's all ideas kind of like coming together. It's not a one-man show. Yes, you see me here, but you know uh as it is with any sort of production, you need an army, especially
Hmm.
for something like this. It's not an army, but it's some friends who are helping out, and we're kind of just putting this together in itself.
Hmm.
And yeah, shout outs, I guess, are due, to Ketana, my fiance, to Sai, Devaka, because the two of them have been also helping out with this. Then others like Pio, as well as Christina, and also another mate of mine, Achala. There's like so many people who have been helping out to bring this to life. And it's definitely something which I would say, you want to do it for fun, but at the end of the day, you are going to be spending, so you at least want to try ensure that you're breaking even.
Yeah.
And those sort of things are always on your mind, because at the end of the day, uh, the more successful the event is, the more that we can do after. So yeah, so there's a lot riding on it. So anyone who wants to get into this, just understand that a lot of things are not in your control.
Hmm.
You want it to be, I am to some degree a little bit, I don't micromanage, but I'm a bit of a control freak. I don't want things to kind of just like go, but then you're learning. It's a learning, and yeah, I was able to decompress this last weekend, just much needed. Yeah, so I think what I would tell anyone is, if you're gonna get into it, take it slow, and don't bite more than what you can chew.
Cool. And Machan, is there anything that you want to add in closing?
I think I also want to say thank you to the band and also the DJs. So Ilinile Sukulu, to Sash and Losh, these guys are absolutely amazing. And even the band itself, what's amazing about these guys is, you have to come and see it to see the energy which they bring out. It is crazy. Um, Jackson, who's the lead singer of Inik, uh, he's one who knows how to work the crowd. He has a very good understanding of it. Losh is an up and coming DJ, and he's been performing in a few events recently. And I've heard amazing things about him. I personally haven't been able to go for any of his events yet. So it'll be a first for me, but I definitely know that he's going to be bringing a lot to the table. And then you have Sash. He's without a doubt, like the best Tamil DJ out there. We got two number ones with us, and we have a DJ who is also not that far behind. So I think, first up, early birds are out right now, and if you miss out on that, there's be limited tickets at the gate. But don't miss out. I think the early bird offer is what you definitely need to be getting on, because this is going to be an absolutely amazing night. And overall, we want to bring with the production and matching both of these together to kind of just like bring down the house or set the dance floor on fire, I guess. Deepadika.
Whichever rocks anyone's boat, right?
Yes, sir.
Coolest, man. It was nice talking to you, Chase, and all the best for the day, and creating a movement within a movement within a movement within a movement.
Thank you. And I know that you, unfortunately, on that particular day have to be somewhere else, but I hope that you can still drop in for at least a little bit to witness it.
Man.
If not, I'm just going to send you videos to make you jealous.
Yes. Either way.
Yes, definitely.
Jai Weva to you, my dude.
Jai Veva, Machan.